We've all been there as beginner sewists, producing some potentially questionable quality. Personally, I have made some, let's call them, very, very shoddy things. So there was no judgment from me when I found this skirt at a thrift store over a decade ago and saw how shoddily refashioned it was. But like I said, no judgment. We've all been there. We certainly have all been there. And today I am finally getting around to saving this skirt. We're sorting it out and fixing up someone else's shoddy work. So let's take a look at this skirt. Let's start by talking about the overall design of this skirt. It was far too small for me and ill-fitting on my hips and at the lower back area, which you can see here. Luckily for me, the person who originally did this refashion didn't cut off the excess fabric when creating the hem. They just folded it over a number of times. So this means I'm going to be able to extend the length, which I'm very grateful for. And there is no waistband per se on this skirt. The previous refashioner just folded the top bit of fabric over numerous times, I think to create some thickness around the waist. Fortunately for me, the previous refashioner also used the incorrect tensioning for their thread, which made unpicking this dress relatively easy. Obviously, this does take a little bit of time and it's not everyone's cup of tea to sit and unpick stitches, but I, for some reason, find it somewhat enjoyable. So I've unpicked the waistband seam and the hem of the skirt, given it a really good press, and laid the skirt out flat to see what I was dealing with in terms of the remaining seams. Now you'll see that the side seams are not matching or accurate. I think my best course of action here is to just even up the seams so then they match at the very least. Now that I've sorted out those side seams, I really need to tackle the waistband area of the skirt, because now that I've unpicked it and unraveled it, it is definitely much too small for me if I were to keep the existing width of that waist. So I'm going to cut it down a bit so then at least it's a bit bigger and will fit my waist. And the bonus is that I've got this bit of fabric as an offcut, which I will keep and use in a future scrappy quilt, I reckon. Now I am going to interface the waistband using some fabric from my stash and this iron-on interfacing. I have cut these strips of fabric to match the size and length of the waistband, and all I'm going to do is just iron on the interfacing and then stitch them together and stitch them to the top of the skirt. I will create this little 1/2 inch fold at the bottom, just so then it's a little bit easier. Once I've stitched it all down to the top of the skirt, I'll already have that folded bit at the bottom to then just stitch down, and it will be all nice and neat and very professional looking, which I'm very excited about. I I also went ahead and put an interfacing strip down the other side of the button placket where the buttons will be stitched. I'm top stitching the waistband down. However, I will leave an opening in the waistband to add a very small piece of elastic at the center back, and this is just to create a gathered waist. I really love doing this to my skirts. I'm all about comfort, and I think having a small bit of an elastic waist really makes things much more comfortable. It's time to put the buttons back on the skirt. Now, initially I was just going to put the original fabric colored buttons back, but then I started looking through my stash and I thought, why don't I put these really cute pink ones? I found these at a thrift store such a long time ago and I think they are absolutely adorable. But what do you think? The last things I needed to do was hand stitch down the button placket interfacing strip that I added and stitch on my Karla.created label and hem the skirt, and I was done. The skirt is done. It's finished and I'm so proud of how it turned out. I'm so glad that I changed the buttons because I think it really needed just that contrast. I have kept the original fabric buttons because they're just adorable and I will use them on another project for sure. What do you think? Did I make the right decision putting the pink buttons on, or should I have kept with the original fabric ones? Let me know in the comments. I'd be interested to hear. I did actually put a poll out on my Instagram, same I guess, asking if I should change them, but I went ahead and changed them and put the pink ones on before even getting the results of that poll. And I think half the people actually said to keep the original buttons, and only 20% said put the pink ones on. Anyway, let me know, did I make the right decision? I like it, but you know, everyone's different, I guess. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gave you some inspiration to perhaps pick up some items from your stash that need to be refashioned. I am thinking of turning this refashion video style into a bit of a series because I actually have a whole box of clothes that I need to refashion, yes, still. I did obviously do a massive cull and then I did my refashion marathon that got through quite a lot of them, but I kept all of the more complicated full refashions, I guess, which I wanted to form into individual videos because, you know, projects that require like this, a lot more thinking, a lot more time and a lot more effort. So let me know if you would like to see a video series like that. I'd be really keen to find out if you would like that. Anyway, thanks so much for watching and I will see you in the next video. Bye.